Today we answer the question, does being a software developer ruin your social life? And the short answer is yes. All right, hit that like and subscribe and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. NANI? Just kidding, guys. I wish all answers like this was a simple yes or no, but like all loaded questions on YouTube, it just really depends on you. First, I want to note that being a software developer, you're probably going to fall into one of two categories, if not both. The first category is that you're going to be working for someone or a company. From that perspective, being a software developer is a job. You go in from 9 to 5, you put in your hours, and what you do from 6 to whatever is up to you. You can spend time with your family, you could grab dinner or drinks with your friends. Some people view being a software developer as a lifestyle. What that means is that after you work from 9 to 5, you take all that free time that you have to either work on a side hustle, side project, or take a course learning a new technology. You live and breathe code, and sometimes it may feel like going to work isn't really work because you would be coding anyways. Whichever category you fall, I personally feel that being a software developer, you're not really forced to not have a social life. But the most important thing I would look at in terms of being a software developer in relation to a social life is that it really is up to you how much you want to control that. Personally, for me, working as a software developer has given me such a better work-life balance compared to my previous job. Before working as a software developer, I was a semiconductor engineer working in a 24-hour manufacturing facility. I would have to go into work from 7:30 a.m. to potentially 6 p.m., 7 p.m. And on top of that, as an engineer, I was expected to be on call 24 hours, weekdays and weekends. So there was a lot of stress that was involved in working in a manufacturing facility that required your attention all the time. And from that perspective, my social life was pretty difficult. Luckily for me, I am an extrovert, so I forced myself to go out to hang out with friends, but physically and mentally, I was so tired that after hanging out, I couldn't really do too much. So jobs like that are going to be very detrimental to my social life, and it's always going to require my attention, or sometimes I just need to go into the office. The biggest difference between my previous job and my current job as a software developer is the power of choice. What I do with my free time is up to me. Before, I didn't really have a choice because I always had to be on call or I would work really, really late hours. Being a software developer, I have the freedom to do whatever I want after work. There are moments where I would want to hang out with my coworkers or friends. So during those times, my social life would really blossom. But at the same time, there are moments where I really love coding. I really love working on my YouTube brand. I love working on my side projects and personal portfolio. From that point of view, my social life went down. That free time of what I wanted to do when I work on my side projects and things like that took priority over my social life. The thing that I want to point out again is that although my social life might go down in different periods of time, it's based on my choice that it becomes like that. Most of the stuff I'm talking about is related to what you want to do outside of work, but there are people that are going to ask, hey, what about working as a software developer? Does it really ruin your social life? Because there's this misconception that you're always going to be coding all the time. You don't talk to anyone. You just sit at your desk, listen to your music, and basically space out for the next 8 to 10 hours. And although there are moments and pockets where that's going to be true because you have a very hard due date or it's a very complicated project, more often than not, you are taking a lot of breaks, relaxing your brain and talking to product managers, project managers, and going into meetings with different members of your team to discuss architecture and things like that. Like any job, there's going to be a lot of meetings where you need to confirm with your coworkers on what we're working on. There are sprint planning meetings. You're going to be interacting with your coworkers, and that is just the reality, even as remote developers. So from the viewpoint that an extroverted person could be suddenly introverted because they're a software developer is completely false. As someone that has gained more experience as a software developer and someone that is extroverted, I've appreciated to take more breaks, walk around the office, drink a coffee, interact with my coworkers, because on top of just getting away from the code, it really helps me relax so that I can look at my code again with a fresh pair of eyes. And something that might have been a roadblock for me for 2 to 3 hours, suddenly I understand what I did wrong. In a way, my social life has improved because I learned to better articulate my problems, better articulate my issues within the workplace and my coding. If you feel like your social life is getting ruined working as a developer, maybe you should ask these kind of questions. Am I working too much? Are the deadlines and due dates that are given to me really unreasonable? Should I ask my manager for help, saying that this is not a one-person job, but I need 2 to 3 people to help me with this? And why does it feel like I can't interact with my coworkers? Why does it feel like I don't have time to work with my coworkers? Situations like this where you're always under the gun and constantly writing code and it never feels like you can take a break is not necessarily a software development issue, but maybe something in your company that you need to address and talk to your manager about. So if you're in a situation like that, I would talk to your manager and ask about reallocating work or trying to deprioritize certain items. I do admit that coding versus like a sales job where it requires you to be more client-facing will put you in more introverted situations. But it's really up to you how sociable you want to be. If you want to get up and take a break, go on a coffee walk, then do it. No one's really stopping you at work. And if you want to just stay introverted and just focus on the code and not interact with your coworkers, it's really up to you on how sociable or not sociable you want to be. Going back to the time after work, as a software developer, you do wear many hats. And if you're the type that views software development as a job where you just work from 9 to 5 and that's it, perfectly fine. Your social life can blossom where you spend all that free time doing what you need to do to make yourself feel happier. If that means going out and grabbing drinks with your friends or getting dinner with an old colleague, then yeah, your social life will improve. If you're the type that is willing to code day in and day out, then maybe your social life will kind of deteriorate a little bit. Like I said again, the important thing is that it's up to you. For me, I've always tried to get that right balance. There are pockets of time where I'm so deep into my own personal projects that after work, I don't really talk to my friends. I just focus on building out my portfolio site, making another YouTube video, things that will make me happy. And obviously, it's going to be a give and take. The more you work on stuff outside of work, the less you're gonna have time to interact with your friends. So long story short, does being a software developer ruin your social life? Maybe. If you like content like this, hit that like and subscribe. Let me know if being a software developer ruined your social life and in what aspects. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.